How's it going, everybody? Nikki D here, coming to live, man. Yet again today. Look at that. We have a new angle and everything. We have a new angle. I got the light on my face, so you can kind of see me in this dark room, and I'm holding the microphone. I don't have it up on the arm today because it's more intimate. So anyway, today I want to do a quick movie review on The Long Walk. So this is going to be a quick spoiler section, and then we will have a non-spoiler and a spoiler section. We'll do the non-spoilers first, and we'll talk about spoilers after the fact. Okay. Um, yeah, so this movie, just quick review. I like it. Okay, I think it's like basically 4 and a 5. Or sorry, 4.5 out of 5 is probably what I would rate it if I had to give it a review, and I have, and it was 4.5 out of 5. Okay, this was excellent. I went in completely blind. Very very happy with this movie. If you are looking to just go to this movie, you don't really know too much about it, and you're like, I want to go see it. Please do, and do yourself a favor, just watch the non-spoiler section. Go check out the movie. Give it some love. Very, very good. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so if you don't know, it's based on a book. A lot of movies are. Stephen King, right? I haven't read it personally, but I looked up a little bit of the lore after the fact because I wanted to be more familiar with it. And yeah, it's interesting. It's hard for me to talk about the movie without spoiling anything. But I think like I think the runtime is like an hour and 40 minutes. It was solid. We'll have some trailer footage, of course, on screen, so you guys can you can enjoy that. I don't find I'm spoiling anything if I put a trailer out. But yeah, it's the plot is pretty simple. I'm not spoiling anything by the plot because I think it's pretty obvious by the title and the trailer. But yeah, a bunch of young guys are forced air quotations. I'll talk about that in a minute in the spoiler section. But they are doing a long walk. They're walking as long as they can. And if they cannot continue to walk, they are taken out of the so-called competition. All right. And then the last person wins. What they win, of course, we'll get into. And it's such a simple premise, and I think it's carried really, really well by the acting. I think this is going to be one of those movies where people look at it. Got a cobweb up there. I think people are going to look at the acting and or the movie, even now, but I think years from now, and they'll be like that was hard carried by the cast. I think they all did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. Anyway, I really just want to talk about spoilers. So again, spoiler section now. You've been warned. Here we go. So in 3. I'm not counting that. Let's just get into it. Okay, so yeah, so the idea, like I said, is pretty simple. So that's the idea, okay? Now, I don't know if it was like per se every state, but I know our main character, okay, Ray. He is from, if I remember correctly, I could be getting this wrong. He's supposed to be from Maine and the only guy from Maine, so he's like representing Maine, and you're like, okay, that's cool. And you get to know a lot of the characters. Some of them you don't actually get the name of, but whatever. So the idea anyway in the beginning is that they're all volunteering to go into this, okay? They're putting their name in the raffle. They're like, whatever. And you get drawn up and you go into this thing, okay? Now, there's a good amount of them in the beginning. Supposedly, the book has a lot more, but I'm not going to do a book comparison thing. I'm just going to bring up random facts, and that might be really one of the only ones. Supposed to be a lot more people, but either way, you get enough of them that you're like, okay, and it's all young guys, too. They all seem like they're fairly young in age, young and healthy guys. So they put their names in. So the economy is supposed to be really, really shot, and this is supposed to be a really good way to get like basically generational wealth, and you get a wish at the end of it, which of course most people would be like money, whatever. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go look over every plot detail, but I'll just give some like general thoughts, general synopsis of what happens, because again, you should watch it for yourself, you know. But yeah, so the idea is Ray, the main guy, he's in there, and you meet some people, but in my opinion, the real 2 main characters are Ray and Pete, or Peter. Their banter, their back and forth, I think that was really important because it really sets the stage of like how dire things are pretty quickly in, and having anything at all to be like, this helps is really good, you know, and I think that was solely needed. I could not walk for the amount of time they were doing without some kind of distraction, and that really, I think, really helps. I think it really sets the stage. So pretty early in, there's a tease, but the idea is anyway, you get a ticket when you're out, and you're like, okay, well that's not obviously going to happen because they've got guns. There's a military patrol with them. The rules are pretty straightforward, and they're clearly defined in the beginning, which I think is good. So you can't leave the pavement. So they're walking on the pavement on the road. You can't leave the pavement. If you go below a certain walking speed, you get warnings, and up to your third warning, I believe, and then you are ticketed. You're out. Okay, so you're like, all right, all right. I think it's 3 kilometers an hour. I mean, I guess this is it was US, so it might have been slightly different number, but you get the idea. It was a minimum amount of speed, so you couldn't just like start crawling. You actually had to keep a consistent pace throughout the entire competition. Okay, and again, you can't leave as well. Like I can't just walk. Like I couldn't just walk to the left off the pavement. I'd get eliminated. All right. So bathroom breaks, any of that, you got to do it while you're moving, and they do show it. Credit to that. That was pretty crazy. A guy had the runs, if you know what I'm talking about, and they show it full on. It was like I was pretty impressed. Like I'm just saying, a lot of movies don't do that, and that took away the question of like, it's been like 6 days, nobody's taken a pee, taken. And they do, and it was, just if there was a little question you had there, it was like just like in an anime or something. You're like, oh, just never seen one use the bathroom. Like, not you want to, but it's just the idea. It's like, no, they got it. They thought of that. It was appreciated. Attention to detail. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of the characters, in the beginning, they'll get warnings and stuff, and it supposedly it expires after like 3 hours, and you reset the warning limit. Then you can get a few more warnings, and so on and so forth. But not too far into the movie, there is a couple opportunities where someone's like, it's looking pretty like, oh my god, they might actually kill them. Like they put a gun up to them and they're holding it there, and they actually do kill someone pretty early into the movie. It sets the stage. And I got it. Yeah, they don't. I got a Windows notification. Get out of here. And yes, there is no hesitation. Okay. So when they like shoot the gun, they'll have a gun up here like a rifle, and you're just kind of like, warning 3, right? They just show everything. It's like bullet going straight through them. Like it's pretty raw, and pretty good. I was very happy with that. I do like realism, and it's like that's pretty grounded, pretty good. Again, I don't want to cover all the little details, okay? Because again, I think it's better if you guys like actually check out the movie yourselves. Go watch it. I do really recommend this one. I thought the ending was pretty good. At the end, Buddy makes a wish. It's up to interpretation. That's kind of what's been going on. That's what I went on Reddit and I was like, what do people think? And there seems to be a couple different ideas, mainly like 2. But either way, don't want to talk about that too much. But overall, some things that just really come out to really again like into my mind is like powerful, really good. One of them was going up a hill. I didn't even think about that. They're going uphill, so then naturally your speed decreases, and they're already like day 3, right? That's 3 days straight of just nonstop walking. You're pretty friggin' shot, right? So people are trying to go up the hill, and they're just absolutely dying to try to get up it, like literally and figuratively. And yeah, it was pretty wild. That was a really, really stressful scene, and it was really well done. There's a guy, I think like a Native American that's there. And he like reverts to like another language, like his first language, when he's just like, he just mentally taps out. Right. And it was like absolutely heartbreaking, to see that, poor guy. Right. But you could just like, you could feel the character. You're like, okay, like it's over. Right. There's even some scenes where like one guy gets I just say guy, but one dude gets another guy killed basically. And everybody's like, screw you, whatever. And then you realize it's like, he never even meant to do that, and he's just like, well, there's nothing I can do about the situation. Rip. RAP boys. Yeah, so I'm gonna end it there though. But I've already said it enough. I really recommend watching this. Checking it out. Do it the justice it deserves. Go check it out. And I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised. So with that being said, though, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I appreciate that, and we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.